A Christmas Horror Story is not a bad film. This was released in 2015. It's directed by Grant Harvey, Stephen Hoban and Brett Sullivan, written by Jason Philotrault, James Key, Sarah Larson, Doug Taylor and Pascal Trottier, and we have a cast including William Shatner, George Buza, Rob Archer and various others. And it sounded interesting. In fact, I will read the description from Amazon, from Prime in a moment, because it did sound quite thrilling. The execution is fine. It could have been stronger. We have different characters all experiencing the overarching narrative and giving us different perspectives, and I guess it was fine. The description from Amazon is as follows. Not even Santa Claus is safe from the evil that descends on Bailey Downs, a small town that is suddenly plagued with malevolent spirits, zombie elves, and Krampus, the anti-Santa Claus. That sounded like it was going to be a really busy film with a lot of antagonists, a lot of monsters. Visually, that could have been really fabulous and fun and engaging. And it just wasn't. Again, it wasn't terrible, but I feel like it could have been so much more. The execution of the narrative, the different characters and their experiences, they're not the most engaging. But as a horror, it's not too bad. I wouldn't say it's tremendously scary. If you're not a huge fan of horror, then you might find it scary. But if you have a high tolerance for horror, it's not the strongest. But at the same time, we have some good jump scares. We have some nice, eerie atmospheres here and there. And it's not, I'd say it's not scary. But it's not scary either. It's kind of in the middle. It's not terrifying, but it's not completely absent of the elements that make up a decent horror. So it's pretty good on that front, and it does a little bit make up for the fact that at times the narrative itself wasn't the most fascinating. As long as we have a decent jump scare, something to make me a little nauseous or feel a little uneasy, I'm okay with that. Obviously, a stronger narrative would have been better, but because the horror aspect is okay, I'm happy enough to recommend it if you like horror. We do have some well-written characters and some great performances. We have a nice range of locations, including some really snowy, icy scenes, which really helps to give a chilly atmosphere to certain aspects. We have some great sound effects and music. We don't see enough of the threats, though, the monsters, the aforementioned quote-unquote malevolent spirits, zombie elves and Krampus. We don't get to see enough of that. And that's the part that I was looking forward to most. And it also definitely doesn't feel very Christmassy. For example, if I just took a random frame from this, or even a whole collection of random frames, and asked you, when is this set? I don't think you'd say Christmas, for the most part. So it doesn't really feel like a festive horror, but at the same time, it's not terrible. So if you're curious, if it sounds like the kind of film for you, if you're looking for a film that's not tremendously scary but still has a decent atmosphere, some good performances, the technical aspects are all fine. As I said, we have some great sound effects and music as well. Then give it a go. It could have been a much stronger, more engaging, more fun, creative, entertaining experience. And it could have been scarier as well. But what we got was still quite eerie, some decent jump scares. The narrative works well, even if it's not that engaging. And in general, everything combines to create a pretty decent film that, for the most part, I'm happy to recommend.